Hello, this is Miss Anna, and I'm from the McHenry Public Library. I'm here to talk about Bloom's Literature. This is a really great database if you're doing research on a book or author, and this database is perfect for both high school students and up. So how do you access Bloom's Literature? Your first step is to go to www.mchenrylibrary.org. You are going to need your library card number, but don't worry if you don't have a library card. All you have to do is go to this library news section and select Get a temporary e-library card to use our digital library. So not only can you check out Bloom's, you can take a look at all of our other great databases as well. So to get to Bloom's, you're going to go to Find It, and you're going to select Library Databases. From there, you're going to go to Books and Literature. And as you can see, Bloom's Literary Reference Online is right over here. You just hit that. It will ask for your library card number. Just type it in, and it will redirect you to the home page right over here. So there are a number of things to explore on the home page. The first thing is Most Studied Authors. I like to go ahead and hit View All. That way you can see everyone on their list. And from here, you can browse by either Most Studied Authors or all of them. So for example, you know that you're doing something on Jane Austen. You can select that. It will give you various references about this author right over here. You can see different criticism, literary works, images, as well as videos if applicable. Going back to the home page, the next thing is Most Studied Works. Again, I find it useful to just go to View All. And here you'll find a list of various books or pieces of poetry. So for example, you know you're doing an essay on the Awakening. You can select that. And again, it will give you various references, criticism, a character list, images and videos, again, if applicable. Going back to the home page, the next thing is Most Studied Characters. So this is really good if you know that you're doing a research project on a particular character. For example, Hamlet. You can select that, and this will give you an article about that character, which you can read. Each article is going to have these options over here on the top where you can save, print, share, download, cite, read aloud, or save to your Google Drive. There's also going to be record information, so that tells you where they found the record and when it was published. Going back to the home page. Last but not least, there's also featured videos, and these are going to be from adaptations. So if any of the books were turned into movies, they will be featured right over here. So going to the right-hand side, there's this really great Browse Resources section. So here you can look at a variety of different indexes on authors, characters. You can also browse different resources like literary movements and literary themes. But one that I really wanted to highlight is essay topics. So when you select that, it will give you a list of various authors. You're going to select whoever you might be interested in. I'm just going to select Jane Austen again. And it will give you a number of topics that you can use when writing about that author. So for example, you're reading Pride and Prejudice in class. You can select that, and it will give you a list of different discussion questions that you can use in order to create an essay. So this is a really great way, especially if you're struggling to find something to write about. Going back to the home page, the next section we have is this How to Write About. So this is a really great one if you want to learn strategies for writing essays. So by selecting that, it will prompt you to select an author that you're interested in. We're going to select Emily Dickinson just as an example. And it will give you different resources on her poetry. So for example, you know you are writing about this poem right over here. You can select it, and it will give you an in-depth description of that poem, and it will explain it in detail, and it will give you some topics and strategies, so some themes, some sample topics that you can talk about, like technology and sensory perception, as well as the history and context of that particular piece of work. So this is a really great way if you're struggling to understand a particular book or a particular poem. This can be a really great tool to show to your students. Going back to that home page, we also have a Shakespeare Center. So this is particularly useful if you're studying a piece of William Shakespeare's works. And there's also this Bloom's Literary Canon section. So here you can browse by time period, genre, or author's last name. Last but not least, I want to showcase one more thing, and that's this Curriculum Tools tab right over here. So this is going to have lots of great tools for both students and educators. So these are going to be resources on how to cite, how to avoid plagiarism, evaluating online resources, teaching literature through film, and writing a research paper. So these are going to be really great to browse, especially if you're creating a lesson plan, or perhaps you need some more help on how to do citations, for example. So just to wrap things up, Bloom's Literature is a really great database if you're studying a particular author or a particular book or poem. To access it, all you need to do is go to mchenrylibrary.org, and all you need is your library card number. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave a comment. You can also contact us through the Facebook Messenger app. Why don't you let us know how your experience with Bloom Literature goes, and make sure to check out all of our other awesome databases as well.